Do you want to keep your 2024 Toyota Camry shifting like new? In this video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to do a proper fluid exchange on the CVT transmission in order to ensure that your car is driving at its absolute performance and saving you money in the long run. Let's go ahead and get started. Before getting started, let's go ahead and quickly talk about some of the tools that we will be using today. We'll be using a 21 millimeter to take off the tire. 24 is going to be for the drain plug on the actual transmission. We have 4 quarts of Toyota ATF WS automatic transmission fluid. We have our power tools. Take off the tire. This is going to be to take off the shield, that's going to be a 10 millimeter. We have our ratchet, and we also have an electric ratchet. And right here, we're going to have our scan tool. That's going to be super important in order to actually monitor the temperature of the actual transmission once the new fluid is in. We have our extractor, but I'm actually going to be using 2 different ones. This is going to be for my clean, for putting it in. And once we absolutely take out the fluid, we're going to put it in here and we're going to measure to see how much fluid came out. And we have drain plugs, and one of the very most important things that I could have. Watch this. Now, in order to make sure that the vehicle are safely up off the ground, we're also going to need jack stands, which is 4, and we also have a jack to put it up on the jack stands. Now, for this job, it's super important that you keep the car extremely leveled, and that is the purpose of the jack stands. And then you will see one of my favorite, the creeper. This is going to allow me to get underneath and exit from underneath the vehicle. Now that we have everything, let's go ahead and get started and have fun. And really quick, guys, if you guys want to learn more about transmissions, check out my preventative maintenance video that I created specifically on transmissions. Now, transmissions are different, but CVT transmissions are incredibly different. They don't like heat. This is the reason why you have to change it roughly around every 30,000 miles in order to ensure that that CVT transmission lasts you long and it's actually a reliable once you actually take care of it. But go ahead and go check out that playlist and that video. The link will be in the description below. Now let's go ahead and have some fun. So right here, you got 2 10 millimeter bolts and then this little plug right there. Go ahead and knock those out. The bolt that you see right here, where it says WS, that is going to be the bolt that we are going to be taking off. And you want to make sure you take this off first before you drain any fluid in there. You want to always make sure that you're able to remove the fill plug before you actually drain out your fluid, because then you'll be screwed if you can't take it off. All right, there you go. Plug off, place right there. Now let's go ahead and continue. Just need to remove the clips to take this off. 4 bolts, 4 holes. Allow you to take down that entire piece rather than moving that. Okay, so the drain plug is going to be right here. Now we can go ahead and drain the fluid out of here. That thing is on there, boy. So this is the first fluid exchange being done on this car. And it's gonna make a mess. So, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this drain plug out, let it drain, and you're gonna see that it drains very, very slow. That's because there's another uh, plug in there that has to come out that will drain the rest of that fluid out. Once we have found, or once we remove that plug, then we will go ahead and start the actual fluid exchange. While we wait for that to stop, that little drain, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off this drain plug. And we are going to replace it with another drain plug. These are pretty much one-time use. So we're going to take off the old one right here and replace it with the new. And it's a simple crush wash. So you can see, this is the new, this is the old. All right, now let's go back to continue draining. Now this is where the rest of it comes out of. There's going to be a little white thing that I'm going to pull out. You're going to put this little 6mm Allen key in there, and you're going to just twist it out. And when you're putting it back in, it's only going to be down to like 15 like Newton meters, which is essentially hand tighten. You do not put anything extra onto that. You just hand tighten it, and that's it. And it's about to come out, and you will see the rest of the fluid draining out. This ain't nothing but a little plastic overflow cap, filler tube. All right, now that it's done draining, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this back up there, hand tight, and you just go until it cannot go any longer. And then once it tightens up, just give it like a little tiny oomph, extra spin. Because remember, the job of that little plastic thing is for the overflow. So it's already there, and boom, that's all I'm doing. We can go ahead and wipe it off really quick and put the drain bolt back under. And what we're going to do is when we put it back on, we are going to put it on, but we're not torquing it all the way because we're going to have to check the fluid levels. All right, that's good. We're going to take the old fluid, pour it in here just to measure to see roughly how much came out, and we're going to put exactly what came out back in. Let's go ahead and take a look at how much we pulled out. So this is roughly about 2.75 liters. Once you actually do the conversion, it's a little bit less than 2 quarts. But what you're actually going to end up doing, what it calls for, it's like 3.5 quarts of transmission fluid. So what I am going to do is, in the new bottle, once I fill it up, I am going to go ahead and put all 4 bottles of transmission fluid. And for that is because I want to cycle out all of the old fluid that's still stuck inside of the transmission, because no matter what you do, there will always be a little bit of oil transmission fluid still stuck inside of the transmission and also in a torque converter as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now we're going to go ahead and unscrew it and go ahead and proceed from there. But what I did do was I went ahead and I switched the adapter. It does come with an adapter. I had to switch out this old one right here for this new one, and so that way it can fit for my compressor. Oh yeah, and 2 new tools, or not new, but 2 tools that I definitely forgot to include in there is going to be my compressor, which is going to be pressurizing my bottle, and then we also have my EcoFlow Delta 2 Max generator. So that is going to power up everything that I need, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on actually putting in the fluid inside of the transmission. So I am a big fan of pretty much sticking with OEM parts, unless like you're doing a crazy after build. If not, CVTs are very, very good, interesting transmissions, and you have to take care of them. Every maker of these cars, whether it's Toyota, Ford, or whoever else, they have their special ingredients that they put inside these CVT's transmissions. So in order to make sure that vehicle continue running like how it's supposed to, I would personally just tell you, hey, just go use whatever the maker is telling you to use. There's a lot of science that goes into it that determines on how they make certain things. All right, we got that off. And let's disconnect that. Put this back in here. Twist this on. So we have 4 quarts of transmission CVT oil. That's nice on there, nice and tight. I just went ahead and switched adapters. And guys, so now the step that I am going to do is I just hooked up my scan tool. The purpose of this is to measure the TCM temperature for the fluid. The range, I believe it goes from 97 to 113 is where you go to actually unscrew that bolt to let whatever remaining is inside of the transmission fluid drain out, and you go until the drip. Now, also too, guys, that reading is critical, because with CVTs, they're extremely temperamental. If you don't do it within that window of range, you're going to have to do everything all over again, and no one wants to do that. Also, guys, please go ahead and like, follow, and comment. The engagement, YouTube likes when people engages with that. That also helps me out and my channel be able to reach out new people that have maybe had never heard of me but would like to learn more about these different types of things and how to do them. So once again, guys, thank you on that one. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to turn on the vehicle, and I'm going to go into the TCM to read that measurement. Let's go ahead and do it. As soon as you turn on the car, start cycling through the gears. All that old fluid will get pushed out, and you want to continue cycling, right? Do it 2 to 3 times and you'll be good. You also want to move relatively fast because that transmission fluid heats up extremely quick. All right, so we're gonna go to live data, and while we wait, let's go up underneath the car. All right, guys, so now I'm in that window to go ahead and check that temperature fluid. So in Celsius, I'm looking at 37.8. Right now, when I'm opening it, I am at 40. Like I said, guys, you just go ahead and let that drain out completely until it comes to a slow drip. Once it comes to a slow drip, then we can go ahead and close it up, torque it down to the proper torque spec, and then we can take it on a test drive. So there you go. Let it go for a couple more minutes until that comes down to a slow drip. Once we have that slow drip, go ahead and close it up. Put everything back. I will be back when it comes down to a slow drip to show you guys the little final parts. Drip, let me go ahead and show it to you. We can go ahead and now finally close that up. And once we close it up, we're going to cycle through the gears one more time. And we're going to open it back up to see if any other fluid comes out. If it does, then we just let it drip. If it does not, then we are good to go. Hey guys, you're going to hear a difference in the audio quality because my microphone died. I currently have it charging, but you see the slow drip right there. That's good enough. We're going to go ahead and plug it up and then torque it down. And then once I torque it down, I'm going to go ahead and put all of this stuff back. And once everything is put back together, I'll be right back with you guys. Let's go ahead and finally put that drain plug back in, seeing that now it's good to go. And we're going to torque this down to 35 foot-pounds. I do want to apologize once again. You can see right there, everything is cleaned up. Everything is put back on. We're going to go ahead and torque it to 80 foot-pounds. Let's go take it on the test drive. All right, guys, so we're doing the test drive. So far, I've driven roughly about a mile with the stop and goes, threw it into park reverse. You know, just wanted to make sure that everything is shifting properly and everything is running properly. This vehicle is running amazing. It actually feels better than what it did coming out of factory. But once again, guys, do not forget to like, comment, and engage with the post. It definitely helps out the algorithm, pushing out my information out to other people. So much will be appreciated, guys. Once again, thank you. Like and follow for more car repairs.